Hi there. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new Android project in the newest version of Android Studio. So if you want to make sure that you are running the latest version of Android Studio, you need to open the Android Studio first and then go to Configure, check for updates. Okay? When you do that, it's going to check for plugin updates and the IDE updates. And if there is a new version available, then it's going to show you an option so you can download and update the components of Android Studio. So for now, only one plugin needs an update, and that is the Firebase services. I don't need this one now. I'm going to click on cancel, and I'm going to click on remind me later. So let's go ahead and create a new Android Studio project. So let's just click on start a new Android Studio project. So as you do that, first it's going to ask you to choose a template. Okay, you can choose no activity template, basic activity, empty activity, and all sorts of templates here. And you don't have to select a specific activity in order to achieve a specific result, because if you choose only the empty activity, later you can add elements. Okay, for example, later I can add tabs to my layout. I can add maps, login activity, scrolling activity, and all of these templates. So I'm going to choose empty activity because of this reason. But here, notice that we've got the Wear OS. Okay, so if you are developing an application for Wear devices, for TV, automotive, Android things, and all of these stuff. But for this course, we are going to mainly focus on phone and tablet, and I may add some more sections about the Wear TV and automobiles later in this course. So let's choose phone and tablet, empty activity, next. So now we need to configure the project. What should be the name of our project? Okay, so just give your application a name. Okay, you can change this name later. You don't have to think too much about the name of the application at this time. You can change it later. So I'm gonna name it my first app 2020. And the package name, well, the package name should be a unique identifier for your application. If you want to upload your app to the Google Play Store, okay, it should represent your name, your brand, your domain. So the domain should be written in reverse. Okay, so as you can see, com.mystartup.myfirstapp2020. If you want to make it more unique, you can add more elements to it here. So next we've got the save location path. As you can see, this is the location path of the application. And notice that at the end of the location path, we've got this name, My First App 2020. This is the same as the name of my application, because Android is going to create a separate folder for my application with this name. If you remove this part here, as you can see, I removed the name of the application and at the end of the save location path. Now, Android may not be able to create a folder for our application. So that's why it's important that you have the name of the app at the end of the location path. Next, we've got the language. So as you might already know, Android applications can be written in Java or Kotlin. Okay, so in this course, we are going to focus on Java. So I'm going to select Java as the language. Then we have the minimum SDK. The minimum SDK simply represents the minimum operating system version that your application can run. So let's say that if a user runs a device with the, let's say, Android operating system or Android API ice cream sandwich, then they cannot run our application because currently the minimum SDK is API 16, Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. Okay, so this basically means that the users that have the Android API Jelly Bean or above can run our application. And the older devices cannot run our application, and the Google Play will not show our app to the users with the operating system that is lower than the Jelly Bean. So this minimum SDK simply means that. And the common sense is that as you choose higher APIs, for example, as you choose, for example, Android API 25 or Android Nougat, then your application can be more optimized to have the latest feature and modern features. Okay, so and the more you go older to lower APIs, then you have to make sure that those applications too can take advantage of some of those features, or you might show the users with the older devices that your application does not support this feature, so we are not able to show you this feature. So the more modern your application gets, the more latest version you target, the more you can modernize your application. So for this application, we are going to choose Android 4.1, the Jelly Bean. And as you can see, it says your app will run on approximately 99.8% of devices. Now here we have a new option, use legacy Android support libraries. So do not choose this option, okay? And then click on finish. When you do that, it's gonna configure and start our project. Okay, so now that our project is created, I'm gonna go ahead and change the theme of my Android Studio to light so you can see better what's going on here. So let's go to File and Settings, and if you're using Mac, you need to go to the Android Studio logo at the top and then go to Preferences. And then let's go to Appearance and Behavior, click on Appearance, and I'm gonna change the theme to, I have the high contrast, so let's click on Apply and see what happens. So this is the high contrast theme, okay? So it looks a little bit better, and I'm gonna go with this one for a while and see how it looks. So now let's go to File at the top, and then let's go and take a look at the project structure. So when you open the project structure, go to Modules, and then click on the Default Config tab. So there are some information that I want you to know about before diving deeper into the world of Android development and creating your own Android applications. So first, you can see that the app is selected, the application ID is this one. As I said before, this must be unique. We have the version code here. The version code represents your current version of the app, okay? So if you release a new update later, then you should, let's say, increase this number. Next, we've got the version name. That will be a way to show the others the version code. For example, you can represent the version name something like 1.0.2, okay? This is a way to display what is the current version of your app. So let's go and take a look at the other elements here. We have the target SDK version. So the target SDK version represents what is the latest or what is the current version of Android API that you are testing your Android application on. So in this course, we are going to test our Android applications on Android 10 or Android Q, okay? So when the Android R gets released, I mean the official version of Android R gets released, then we are going to also update this course so that we can target that SDK version. So the minimum SDK version, as I said before, for this specific application is 16, and that's it. You'll learn more about the other elements later. So now I'm just gonna click on OK. Now I wanna talk about the to-do list, okay? So the sidebar that you saw here is called the Assistant. That will give you some information about the newest version of Android Studio. I strongly suggest that you read them, but you don't have to, it's not necessary. So I'm just gonna minimize the Assistant, and then here, so let me talk a little bit about the shortcuts that you can use here. So at the top menu, you can go to View, Tool, Windows, and then here you can see that the shortcut of the project is Alt-1. And in Mac, I think this is Command-1, okay? So at the left side, you can see the project navigator. so I can navigate between the files of my project. And make sure here it says Android, it's not project actually. If it is project, then you cannot navigate your files as I'm doing here. So make sure to click this drop down menu and select Android, and then you can see the files here, the app, manifest, Java, REST folder. So here, the shortcut that I am going to use is the Alt-1 or Command-1 if you're using Mac, in order to close the project navigator or open it. Alt-1 closes or open it here. So I'm gonna close it. Now I wanna talk about something called to-do in Android. So in order to create a to-do here, I'm gonna put 2 slashes here and then open a tag, exclamation mark, dash dash. And then you just make sure your caps lock is on and type in here to do. So when you do that, the Android Studio recognizes this code here as a to-do. And the compiler will ignore this code, so it will not affect the functionality of our application. This is just a way to remind us to do something in our application later, or for others when they see our application. So I'm gonna type in here, make sure to, or you can just say initialize the variables. The more specific you are, the better. Initialize the variables, okay? And then in order to close it, you put dash dash, the closing tag. So this is how the to-do works. Slash slash, open tag, exclamation mark, dash dash to do your text or whatever you want to do. And then in order to close it, dash dash, closing tag. So now you can see that the color of this to-do is different from the other codes here. And at the bottom of Android Studio, you can see a section that says to do. If I click on it, now you can see that this project has a to do, found one to do item in one file. And then if you go to this package and open it, you can see the main activity that this to do exists in. If you open the main activity, you can see the line of code that this to do exists. So if you create multiple to-dos in your project in different files, later when you want to do some specific tasks and you've put some reminders like this to-do in your code and you want to find them, you simply go to the to-do at the bottom, and then here you will open the package, the class, and you will find the to-do there. And then you will do your task here. So this code here is not a code, this is just a text. And Android Studio or the compiler doesn't like it here because it represents nothing, and it will affect the functionality of our code. So I'm gonna comment out this code by putting 2 slashes here. So now the compiler or the software that runs our program will have no problem with this code here. Okay, so this is the to-do that I wanted to talk about. Next, I am going to talk about the Android app architecture. And when you run your application on your device, or when you run an Android application on any device, you simply try to build the application first by using a tool called Gradle. So I opened the project navigator so you can see the Gradle scripts here. The Gradle is a tool that will build the whole project. And our project will be turned, or the codes that you can see here, will be turned into a bytecode so that the system understands that, and the system can show the results on a mobile device, okay? So now let's go ahead and run our application. At the top menu, you should see these items here, the run or the play button that you can see here. And at the left of this play button, you can see the devices that are available and some other elements that you're gonna see later or you're gonna learn about later. And here, I'm gonna click on this AVD Manager or Android Virtual Device Manager, this item that you can see here at the top. I'm gonna click on it, and here you can see that it opens a new window for me. So I can select or create a new virtual device. So here, let's assume that I don't have any virtual devices. I'm going to create a new virtual device. I'm going to click on this virtual device, and I'm going to go ahead and select one of these devices. Let's say that I want to select Nexus 5X. If you want to select other devices such as TV, Wear OS, tablet, or automotive, you can select them. But for the phone, I'm going to select Nexus 5X. And I'm going to click on Next. So now you need to determine the Android API or the operating system version that you want to run on your Android virtual device. So as you can see, the Android API R is recently released. It is the preview mode, the preview version, but the Android Q is the official version. I'm going to choose Android Q API level 29. And here you can see that there are other tabs, x86 images and other images. But if you select the recommended, these are the recommended images that are offered to us by Android Studio. And I'm going to click on Next. So here, the Nexus, this is the name, Nexus 5X. There are some settings that we can change here. And the operating system is Android Q, startup orientation portrait, and the performance is automatic, and that's fine. So I'm going to click on Finish. But if you want to see more advanced settings, you can click on Show Advanced Settings and take a look at the camera emulated, the back virtual scene, and other settings here. Okay, so I'm going to go with the default here, and I'm going to click on Finish. And now a new virtual device is created. And here I'm going to close this AVD manager, and at the top menu here you can see this section beside this play button. I can now click on it and select the new virtual device that I just created, Android Nexus 5X API 29. I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to click on Run or Play button. So congratulations, you have created your first Android application. And as you go deeper into this course, you're going to create more cooler and more complex Android apps. But for now, this is awesome. You can see the Hello World text at the center of this activity here. So the activity is the area or a single focused area that you can see here so that the user can implement something here, okay? So now the user can interact with our activity. And activity in Android is a place that the user can interact with or touch something or achieve something or get some results, okay? And each activity should have only one goal, one task that should be completed, okay? So as you go deeper into this course, you are going to create more advanced activities. But for now, I just wanted you to know that activities are very important in Android. And in fact, your homework is to go to the Android Developer Guide and read the whole article about activities in Android. So let's go ahead and see how we can find that article on the developer.android.com. So I opened the Google on my Chrome and I searched for Android Activity Developer Guide. So here it is, the first link that you should click on, and now you can go ahead and read the whole article about activities in Android. So this is a guide. So if you don't understand some of these parts, don't worry. We're going to learn all about this here later in this course. But for now, I just want you to get introduced to this concept. And if there is a part that you don't understand, you can skip that part and simply read the whole article. So do that. And let's go back to Android Studio, and I'm going to talk about the manifest. If you open the app manifest here, it should open a file that is going to give you some information about the app. So let's say here there is an information about the app icon. So if you want to specify the icon of the app, you should use it here. You should do it here. The label of the app, the text that you see above of your app at this action bar at the top. So the round icon, the supports RTL or right to left language, the theme of the application, the activity that is using it, the main or the launcher activity. We are going to learn all about that later. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, please post a discussion in the course and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. I'll see you in the next tutorial.